Hey everybody, how you doing? Steve coming at you. Hope you're having a great day. I want to talk a little bit about Jake Tapper, Jake the Snake Tapper, the guy who gave Laura Trump a hard time about President Biden when she noticed back in 2020 on CNN on his show that Biden's not doing well cognitively. He had obvious cognitive decline, and he defended Biden and said that you're picking on somebody with a stutter and looked at Laura Trump with disgust. He's now hawking a book with a dude from Axios called Original Sin. And now he and this Axios dude, although the Axios dude was earlier to the party about Biden's decline, he was still later than everybody else in the country who knew that the guy wasn't there, that all his marbles, that more than half of them were gone. He still came to the party late. And now Jake is, I'm shocked. Pearl collection, like he didn't know. And it's so sleazy because they're so desperate to get back their credibility that they lost in the last 4 years. And that was on them. They had nothing to do with us. They lost credibility with us because we could see they were lying for the Biden administration. And now he's trying to hawk a book and make money off of the lies he told in denial, in purposeful denial, because he knew. They all had to know. Now I don't see how he didn't know. I personally don't see how he didn't know. But now he's out trying to hawk a book and talking about, we talked to 200 people on background and they told us this and they told us this, all a bunch of bullshit. They knew. But now they're trying to stick it to the Democrats and blame them for it, even though they knew they were covering for Biden. And now they're trying to make it seem like, oh, the Democrats lied to us. So I check it out, National Review. And I love this story, so I wanted to just kind of share it with you guys. Young lady at National Review reporting, her name is Carolyn Downey, and she's going to discuss this whole issue with Biden's middle decline and what a pig Jake Tapper is. Megan, I love Megan, oh my gosh, Megan Kelly does a phenomenal job of it herself. And I love the way Megan Kelly talks about it, but I wanted to use a little bit of different source, a little bit of a different spin, see what you guys' thoughts are on it. You guys tell me what you think about this, but I was like, are you kidding me right now? Are y'all really trying to pretend like you didn't know Biden's brain was sauce? You try to pretend like you didn't know and try to play us like we're not smart enough to know. And this is why you got in trouble, because you wouldn't stop trying to play us. You wouldn't stop trying to gaslight us, and you're still trying to gaslight us, but now you're trying to make money off the gaslighting, which is absolutely disgusting and ridiculous. But I want you guys to see this. Absolutely blew my mind. And Sharpling LA, I really like what she had to say about how this whole thing went down. I love your guys' thoughts on it.
They've raised $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
The lie that Biden was smart as a whip, a spring chicken, doing cartwheels in his sleep, fell apart in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Then the Democratic media went into panic mode, throwing Biden under the bus because, well, their nominee was no longer viable. Kamala Harris was installed, or I should say coronated, at the 11th hour to save face. And after Democrats gaslit the public for 4 years that Biden was definitely not falling apart, they gave us another psyop. Yeah, let's convince voters that Kamala Harris is a born-again, measured moderate, and an intellectual, not the radical leftist and vacuous cipher that we all know her to be. When Trump won the 2024 election, all these media people that held up the Biden lie had a choice. Apologize for misleading everyone and accept that it led to the Democrats' defeat, or feign ignorance and make a fat check along the way. You may have noticed that CNN's Jake Tapper and Axios' Alex Thompson, who Penguin Publisher calls two of America's most respected journalists, give me a break, released a book about the Biden cover-up called Original Sin. It contains juicy revelations into Biden's breakdown during his tenure, which again is not news. And we weren't allowed to talk about it for 4 years. This was Jake Tapper up until literally a few months ago. Watch.
How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
It's very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have
to watch somebody on stage
this
search
is
for
so amazing.
questions
It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
a cognitive decline. President Biden embraces his stutter, talking about it, while Trump mocks it, exaggerates it, belittles it. He's sharp physically. I mean, mentally. Yeah. I think the question is physically, right?
I love this. You see, I love what Gradient did here. They're showing chronologically how Jake Tapper lied for Biden. There's no way he believed this. This is just some Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, not wanting Trump to win, doing everything they can to protect their guy. And I love the way Gradient put this together.
Right. More so?
Right.
Right. And the guy who's his chief opponent is only 3 or 4 years younger than him.
Exactly.
I mean, you have questioned President Biden's age, mental fitness, ability to lead. Of those supporting Biden, you said, quote, shame on all of you pretending everything is okay. You're leading us and him into a disaster. Do you worry that you damaged him at all? I don't doubt that you got hugs and handshakes behind closed doors.
This is a Democrat he's talking to. A Democrat representative, Dean Phillips, who also was running in the primary against Biden. That's a Democratic rep that he's berating for mentioning that Biden's not there. And Jake Tapper is acting like, oh, nobody knew. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Today, and maybe even publicly, some of them because they like you personally. But I've heard a lot of really nasty stuff about you from your Democratic colleagues. Sure. I mean, just like, what is he thinking? Exercise in narcissism. I mean, false claims to the Wall Street Journal about President Biden's mental fitness and acuity. He's 81, and his memory, it doesn't seem great. It's not horrible, but I don't understand the outrage. Quote, behind closed doors, Biden shows signs of slipping, unquote. The Wall Street Journal is owned by News Corp, which is run by the Murdochs. Beyond the headline, there is some critical nuance here. The article is mostly based on observations of Republicans, with former Speaker Kevin McCarthy the only one going on the record. They do note in the article that most of the criticism comes from Republicans. Have you heard any concerns from anyone who has met with President Biden about him seeming a little slower? No.
This just makes my blood boil. He maligned the character of people who made accurate observations about Biden stumbling and stuttering because he was trying to protect the president rather than do his journalistic duty to report the truth. Talk about Orwellian, where we're told to deny the evidence of our eyes and ears. So is it really any wonder that the media has no credibility anymore? The Biden lie keeps snowballing, and these authors are the ones continuing the conspiracy. Make no mistake. One of the stories in Tapper's book is that George Clooney, the Hollywood actor who really loves to meddle in politics, said Biden did not recognize him when they shook hands. George, the assistant guiding Biden told the president, trying to remind him who was in front of him, one of the world's most famous actors and the host of the lucrative event Biden was attending. Yeah, Biden said. Thank you for being here. As the exchange continued, the book says it seemed clear that the president had not recognized Clooney. George Clooney, the aide clarified to Biden at the fundraiser. Oh yeah, Biden said. Hi, George. So after the disastrous debate, George Clooney wrote an op-ed which implored Biden to step aside. It reverberated throughout Hollywood. Clooney said, I love Joe Biden as a senator, as a vice president and president. I consider him a friend. I believe in him, believe in his character, believe in his morals. In the last 4 years, he's won many of the battles he's faced. But the one battle he cannot win is the fight against time. None of us can. It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe big effing deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. Clooney is referring to the star-studded fundraiser in LA, co-hosted by him and Julia Roberts, that raised over $30 million for Biden's campaign.
Now, I want you guys to remember that during that whole thing, that campaign where they raised all that money for Biden, we were told that when we said Biden had trouble getting off the stage, that Obama had to go help him off the stage, but Obama had to grab him by the hand and get him off the stage, that those were all cheap fakes. That's what we were told. And the media, including CNN and including Jake Tapper, ran with that story. So anything that the White House said, any defense of Biden that the White House came out with, the media was more than willing to run with it. Do you see that in the Trump White House? Do you ever see them not question the Trump White House? No, because they weren't just holding water, like buckets of water. They were holding whole tubs of water for Joe Biden. And I'm sick of it. Joe Biden, I'm glad Joe Biden's gone. Jake Tapper is a snake. I wouldn't buy that book if it was free. It's disgusting. It's too bad the Axios guy got with him, because it would have been better off, because Jake Tapper's now gone on the book circuit trying to talk about this book like he's, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised by all this stuff. And now they hired some PR people, according to what Megyn Kelly talks about. They hire PR people, and those PR people are based on, he's out there, oh, I feel a certain sense of humility. No, you don't. You're trying to save your ass because people know you lied, and you're trying to act like you didn't lie, but we can all see you, bro. We can see you lied. And now you're trying to make money off the damn book. I wouldn't buy that book. If you were giving it to me, I wouldn't take it. And I don't think anybody should buy that book. I hope they don't make a damn dollar. And the Axios guy who wrote the book with him, he should have been the one that was out front hawking this book, because at least he had a smidge of credibility, because he talked about it earlier than they did. Now, it still wasn't as early as we all knew, and as early as the conservative media was talking about it, but he at least got out there amongst the libs. He got out there before a lot of them were willing to, especially Jake Tapper. I hope this book crashes and burns. You hooked up the wrong guy to write it, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy if it does. But y'all tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Do me a favor, please like the video, comment on the video, share the video. I've been gone, but I'm back. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging in there with me. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because Jake Tapper is a bitch. And that's just how I feel about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll talk to y'all again soon. Y'all take care.